Yo, what's up guys? Another video, story time video about the LA meetup. I was planning to make this video for quite a while already, but the issue was I was waiting for some other pictures, some other stuff, what to talk about, and then the whole stuff from the Interplanetarian server battle, rap battle came up, so it got postponed a little bit. I don't have all the pictures yet that I actually want, so a few pictures are missing. I actually took two little pictures. That's definitely always a thing for me. I always go in and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna take pictures, and then I don't take that many pictures in the end, but I am going to show a bunch of pictures. So, reason why I went in the first place, or why I kept it kind of low-key that I was going, because of COVID regulations, I wasn't too sure if I could actually go there. So, technically, at the 8th of November, the US opened again for tourism, so I'm just going there on a tourist trip. I booked the ticket by myself, that kind of stuff, and well, first of all, I was like to some of the Comtos workers from NA. I was like, "What if I would go there?" And they're like, "Yeah, hey, totally, man. Like, check it out if it's possible and that kind of stuff." So I actually started checking. Flights were a little bit more expensive than I thought. Well, I was like, "Hey, I probably start working in January, so now is the time to travel. Now is the option to travel. So I'm actually going to travel." So that was pretty much the thing. So yeah, I took a little bit too little pictures. I met a lot of nice people, like legit everyone I met, everyone I talked to was like legit super nice and super chill. There was not a single person that I talked to and I was like, oh, this guy is kind of weird or something. Like everyone was super, super chill. So that was super nice. Also with this LA meetup, I would meet a lot of people that I would never meet in Europe, pretty much, or almost never. So that was also the reason for me that I wanted to go there. Of course, I'm gonna leave all of the social medias, well, not all, but the main social medias of everyone that I meet in the description down below. So if you want to check them out, pretty much everyone is streaming or active on Twitter, YouTube, anything. So, yeah. So let's talk about the whole thing. So I have a bunch of pictures. They're not the most great pictures. Ah, it's my face. Okay. First of all, the flight. So I had to take a flight there. I was like, okay, COVID things, right? So I arrived like freaking early. I arrived like 4 hours earlier. My flight was at like I think 9:50 in the morning. So I arrived at like 5:50 in the morning as well. So just before like if anything goes wrong, if there's like a big line for anything, COVID regulations, security checks, I was at the gate within 5 minutes. Wait, I was at the gate within 5 minutes. Like, what? Okay, was getting some bleep bleeps. So, yeah, how did that one work out? 5 minutes to the gates. There was absolutely no one. There was a check, but there was no one at the check. I was the first one to walk everywhere. It's like security, customs, all of that kind of stuff. Everything I could walk in like within a second. So yeah, that was pretty chill. Then I always make a picture of the plane, some stuff in the background. You have some reflection over there. Like, do you actually see my mouse? You do see my mouse. So I can point at shit. Nice. So I was sitting in the plane. Yay! So everything was good. Gotta keep the mask on at all times, of course, of course. I also got a trick for always getting 3 seats solo if the plane is not that full. Oh, that's the most charming freaking picture you're gonna see in your life, right? Those are my legs with like a blanket over them, chilling on 3 seats. So how do you get 3 seats in a plane? If your plane is not that completely full, you go all the way in the back and you sit in the back right, because a plane gets filled from front to back, because that's easier for people to get on fast, pretty much. So if you pre-check in, or you just check in early, is it called pre-check in? Whatever. If you check in early, you go all the way in the back. Like, sure, some people want to get off the plane really early and that kind of stuff. For me, I'm just chilling, man. The moment that my luggage is on like the freaking pickup place, anyways, you're just chilling. You're just waiting anyway. So if you're the last person to leave the plane, that's actually not an issue at all. Unless you got a connection flight, then it might be an issue. But for me, I'm mostly just chilling. Like, I don't mind. So sitting all the way in the back, especially for like a window seat, that kind of stuff, it's very unlikely people would sit next to you. Also, if you sit all the way in the back, if someone else is also solo traveling, they will go for the aisle seat. You have the middle seat free. If your flight is full, of course, you're gonna have like, well, a full flight. So what did I do? I didn't sleep all night and I slept completely in the plane. So there were two options. Either I sleep completely in the plane and I'm totally fine, or I have the issue that I cannot sleep. I'm super fucked up in LA, which worked out in this case. I could sleep quite well. 3-seat solo, you can actually lay down, put your foot. Well, the thing is, I'm pretty much close to 6'4" in feet and like 194 in centimeters. That doesn't fit on this shit. Like, trust me, that does not fit. So I curl in like fucking fetus or something, like trying to lay in that shit. And you have the armrests, right? So the one in the middle you can actually put up, but the one on the edge you don't. So you lay with your neck and you're like, not comfortable. So yeah, that's what I laid there for like 5 hours, and you just try to make it work and that kind of stuff. But yeah, pretty chill. I also could, I'm flying with KLM here. KLM is pretty chill. They actually had Wi-Fi for the whole flight for 18 euros, which I would say is a pretty good deal for a flight of 11 hours. So yeah, I flew back and forth for a 11-hour flight, or for like a week, pretty much. A little bit less than a week. So I wanted to stay a little bit more than just the meetup, of course, because, well, yeah, you're not gonna fly 11 hours for just a weekend. So yeah, arriving towards Los Angeles. Taking some nice pictures from the plane. I like this one. This one's pretty dope. I think this was pretty close to LA. I think this was like 15 to 20 minutes before arriving at LA. So yeah, then first day, going to the office. So I went to the... I arrived. This is the most charming pictures. There's gonna be a lot of charming pictures, of course, walking everywhere with the mask and that kind of jazz. So first time I arrive. Wait, before I arrive, I have one more story. So I get to customs, right? And in customs in North America, they always like to ask these questions, especially in the US. They like to ask this question: what are you doing here? Why are you here? And what's your occupation? My question, what is my occupation? Technically, I don't have an occupation. Well, I'm YouTube/streamer, so I just told them I'm a YouTuber/streamer. It's like, what do you stream? I'm like, what do you care for? Just answer the question. I'm like, okay, so, yeah, I stream a game. What game? The game is not that popular. It's a mobile game called Summoner's War. What is it about? What? I literally started explaining Summoner's War at customs. I'm like, yeah, it's like a gacha strategy game and that kind of stuff. And he's like, strategy game? Like Age of Empires? I'm like, okay, I'm done. It's Pokemon. It's like Pokemon. It's like, Pokemon. You can go, sir. I'm like, fuck! What was that point? Like, what the hell was that good for? So yeah, that took quite a while. I missed the lunch. Then I had to wait for an Uber. Then checking into the hotel. Hotel, super chill, super nice hotel, super nice people working there as well. Got really great service there. But then I'm like texting people because they went from lunch to the office. And there were some regulations with the office as well because of COVID. People just couldn't go there. You could only go there if you actually had business there, like recording a video or anything like that. I didn't really know that at that time. So they just, it's also not that you cannot just walk into there like easily or anything. So you actually need to be kind of invited to go in there. So, or somewhat. But yeah, so I was sitting in my hotel room for like 5 minutes. I'm like, I'm bored. Where's people? So like, yeah, you can go here. So I was texting a bit with Valley Bear, and she was like, yeah. She was pretty much just talking from what the group was saying towards me, so it was easier, I guess. So at first it was like, yeah, we're going back to the hotel, then we go office, and then suddenly they were into the office. So I was like, okay, I'll just walk to the office. It's not that much far of a walk. It's like 15 minutes walk from the hotel to the office, so it's pretty chill. So went to the office. I met a whole bunch of people. I met Valley, Stoic, Surin, Childish, Tyler, and CC Line at that time. They were all like doing recording stuff at Contour. So a bunch of those videos you maybe already have seen. A bunch of those videos are coming later. They also asked me to do a video talking about the Interplanetarian server rap battle, which also has been on the YouTube channel of Comtus already. And they were literally like, oh, yeah, now you're here, you actually kind of have to record a video. I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. What do I have to talk about? Let's go. Go time. I don't mind anything. Let's talk. And they were like, yeah, let's talk about the inter-server battle, like how it works, what you think about it, that kind of stuff. I'm like, yeah, sure. So I was just standing there, and they're like, well, that's okay, that's pretty chill. You got a good vibe for that kind of stuff. So we hanged around there for a while, talking to people, just discussing the game, just having fun, just meeting each other, just asking things like real life stuff, like what do they do, what kind of work they do, what they do on the sides, what they like a whole bunch of yeah, it's just super chill to interact with these people because you see them online a lot, you chat with a bunch of them online quite some, but meeting them in person is just always chill. And I'm also like super hyped to talk to people in general, just ask questions. I'm curious as fuck, man. I just sit around, I just ask shit, like random shit. That's me. I'm just curious, but I also like to talk. Like, as you guys have noticed, I like to talk, man. Give me a few drinks, it even gets worse. I talk more. So yeah, afterwards we went to this Mexican place for dinner. There were a bunch of other people there that weren't at the office at first. So meeting J-Mac there. J-Mac I already seen in Korea 2018. If I'm not mistaken, yeah. I think he was there as an influencer, but I was there just as a viewer. So I seen him before. Riona was there. Ferrylo was there. Thompson also already seen in Korea 2018, but both J-Mac and Thompson didn't speak that much with them back then. So also really nice people. Everyone that I named, like legit everyone that I named. Also sorry if I miss anyone. Everyone was so nice. So also LC33 and Nelly the God were there, and then a bunch of come to us people like Andy, Lily, Gigi, who else? Come to us dude, of course, Evan, Seppi. So yeah, a whole bunch of everyone is just super chill, but everyone's also like so hyped to see me because it's like you're literally flying out here. That's some effort. Like the flight is not that cheap. Like it's pretty lengthy to fly, and I'm like, I don't care, but I like to fly. I fly a lot. Like I don't mind. So yeah, we had a bunch of drinks there, ate some Mexican food, real chill, chilled a bit with the people, had a few drinks, had a few shots. And then going back to the hotel, I was actually more tired than I expected because I slept like 5 to 6 hours in the plane, which is a decent amount, but sleeping in the plane, you don't get that much of a good value sleep. So it's something, and this video is going to get really freaking long. That's already what I noticed because I'm only at day 1 and I gotta cover like 3-4 days. Okay, this is okay, whatever. Yes. Okay, so picture at the office. The office actually looks at LAX, which is here in the background. You can't really see this picture from the meeting room, but yeah, that's pretty dope to see. So then going to the venue the next day. So next day, I don't really have a picture from it. We were all like chilling. This is actually not the venue. This is the Staples Center, which is across the venue. Let's show a more interesting picture. Okay, how did we get here? First of all, so we were chilling at the lobby, had some breakfast with Stoic, and I forgot who else was there, but at least Stoic was always the breakfast guy. I think Childish was there and a bunch of others. So we were just chilling there. I think Ferry was there as well. This is Ferry. So then a couple of the guys got picked up by a shuttle. I had to go to the venue by myself, so Ferry also had to, so we took the Uber together. I also brought some stroopwafels, some Dutch cookies, so I gave that to the guys in the bus. I also got chocolate from Ferry Little Seattle Chocolate. It's pretty nice. He asked me at some point, he's like, are you allergic to something? I just replied, like, weird as me, I replied, I'm allergic to bullshit. He gave me the Pikachu face. I'm like, no, like, I'm not allergic to anything. I just don't eat anything fish related. So I was like, okay. So he got me some chocolates, really nice, pretty chilled chocolate. Got some maple syrup cookies from Tyler, Once in Love. So I also gave like some Dutch cookies back to the people. It was pretty chill. So yeah, then we took a Uber to this place. So this was standing outside. Actually, the venue is like the other way around. We were standing here with Childish, me, Stoic, Ferry. I forgot his name. I'm sorry. Even I'm not really sure this. I met so many people, I actually don't remember all of it. And this Xenio gamer, he was just like driving himself out there. He lives in Mexico right now, like just across the border. So yeah, meeting a whole bunch of people, super chill. So this was in the venue itself. They had like, this is one side, this is like a really big screen, and the bar below that. But they had like a lot of screens everywhere. As you can see in the back, like screens, and then you would turn around, like more screens. You should check out the LA Meetup video, which is very short. I think they should make it longer, but it's just like a highlight video, I guess. I'm doing full story time podcast talking, blah, 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 kind of stuff. So yeah, that was pretty dope. They showed like RTA matches of us playing there. They had like the Fighter, Conqueror, and Guardian tournament. So that was pretty fun. So actually I have to check. Oh yeah, I also met a wait, so I'm at Valley Bear. Oh, this is the other side. You see a bunch more screens. We have like a lot of pictures with a mask on. We have a few that we just took off the mask for the pictures. Like this one. Cute picture. Ah. And then you wear the mask like accessory like this. This is the 2020 and 2021 accessory. You just put the mask on your arm. So yeah, we're just chilling outside. The pictures you saw 2 pictures ago, we were standing like over here waiting for everyone to get in line. So people you haven't seen yet in this picture. So Valley Bear, of course, Thompson, Cam Baller was also there. He doesn't really play the game anymore, but it's pretty chill. He's actually from the area there, so it was pretty chill that he came out there. My hair is fucked up here, so yeah, that happens. So yeah, we're chilling there. At some point, I'm also going for funny stories. So at some point, Valley Bear, apparently she can't really handle alcohol. It's not that she gets like super drunk, but just her body reacts kind of like allergic to it, I guess. So she had like a little bit of a sip of, I think it was like something close to a Moscow Mule. And her whole face like started getting red, and like she got like super hot and that kind of stuff. Like, okay, whoops. So yeah, we were sitting outside chilling for the first bit of the meetup, actually. So bunch of other people. Oh, someone you haven't seen yet in the pictures, Deacon. Deacon was there. It was first time meeting him. Super chill guy, super nice guy. So we actually had all of the casters in-house. So we had Stoic, Once a Love, you haven't seen him in pictures yet, and Deacon there all. And yeah, Deacon, he's just a super chill guy, super nice guy. He's also from the area around there. He actually plays quite a lot of summers. I always say that, like, for the hosters that we have, Deacon knows most of what he's talking about. We had a whole bunch of hosters for, like, or hosts for SWC. And you just notice they don't play the game. They don't understand jack shit. And for Deacon, also when he didn't play the game as much yet, you could still hear that he had like some understanding of the game, which I always could admire. And he just does his job real good. Super nice guy. Met CC Line. CC Line was I admire her as well because she has a picture with everyone, like legit everyone that was there, that was like somewhat known to a certain degree, but also like pretty much she had just a picture with everyone. And I was like, yo, I took way too little pictures. When I saw her Instagram, it's just like, I was like, yo, she has pictures with everyone. That's super legit. So also a picture with Thompson. Thompson, I had a funny story at some point. Thompson, super nice guy as well. And so he's like, you come all the way from Netherlands. I want to buy you a drink. Like, okay, you don't have to, but that's totally fine. I don't mind the drink. It's like, yeah, what are you drinking? I'm like, well, currently nothing. So you're buying me a drink, so we'll drink something. No. So he's like, yeah, what are you drinking? I'm like, okay, do we want to go hard? Do we want to go like nice? Do we want to go like, yeah, like a real man drink? It's like, yeah, let's go. I already know, like, he doesn't drink that much normally, so I'm like, okay, so let me explain you a little bit. So it's called the Long Island iced tea. He's like, that sounds kind of sus. I'm like, hold your horses. It sounds kind of sus, maybe, but okay. So you put what is a Long Island made of? A proper Long Island. It's made of vodka, gin, triple sec, rum, and tequila with some lemon syrup and a splash of Coke. The first 5 alcohol-containing drinks fill up like 70 to 80% of your drink. Then it's just like 50% of lemon syrup, and then it's just splash of Coke for the color of an iced tea. He's like, okay. And someone sitting around was like, yeah, they probably pour it like kind of minimum here, because a lot of places they pour it kind of like weak because it's just a lot cheaper to put in like a lot of Coke. Where did this drink come from for me? I lived in Shanghai for a while, and there were 2 options. If I went to the bar, I either went like home like tipsy as fuck or drunk and broke because I was on the beer, and that's pretty expensive then if you drink beer there all night, or I went home tipsy or pretty drunk and I still had some money because Long Island's, well, if they pour them like proper and you're not really used to them, you can have 2 or 3 and you're having a good night. Trust me, if you're not used to Long Islands and you drink 2 or 3 that are poured properly, you're gonna have a good night. So let's say I'm kind of used to them, so they give me like 5, 6, been on 7 once. Let's say then you have a very good night. But yeah, okay, so Long Island. So he sees this thing being poured, and I'm already seeing like the guy just like, he ordered for like a bunch of people around there. CC Line also got one. And the guy starts pouring. It's like double bottle, double bottle, double bottle. Next row, double bottle, double bottle, double bottle. It's like fixing it with the fifth bottle. It's going in like, okay, he's pouring it proper. I've seen it once in Shanghai that they went for all the 5 bottles like in one mixing cup at the same time. That's I have to look at that picture. That picture's insane. So they pour that and he sees the drink and is like, I'm already like giving right away like tips of like, okay, so they started with the alcohol and then the Coke is on top, so you have to drink from the top even if they put a straw in. Still drink from the top because you have to drink from the Coke part first. If they pour it with Coke first, then you put a straw all the way to the bottom and you drink from the bottom. It's kind of what it goes for. And he's like, yo, look at this guy sounding all professional and stuff. And he takes a sip. He's like, no. I'm like, yeah, right? Yeah, this is good stuff, right? He's like, no. He's like, this is way too strong. So it starts. He's like, you're not my brother anymore. You just want to fuck me up. I'm like, hey, I told you about the drink, right? So he was, oh, that was pretty funny. Super nice guy, Tom's a super chill guy. So he was like, no, man, I'm not drinking with you anymore. That's also my thing. Like for anyone, I'm not trying to get anyone drunk. I always say to everyone, drink at your own pace, know your own limits. Don't go there to get drunk or anything. I just drink because I like to drink, and then getting drunk just happens sometimes. I guess. I don't get drunk that often. Let's say I build up a tolerance throughout the year, but yeah, or years. So yeah, at some point I pretty much finished mine. He's like, hey, say, come over here. It's like, how about I give you my glass and I take yours? I don't mind. I don't mind second Long Island. Because he took like literally, I think he drank like 10-15% of it. He was like, not my kind of drink. I'm like, totally okay, man. No worries. So, and at that point it was around the time that I had to play the tournament. Then we have one more picture with a bunch of us. I think it was Roberts _27. The other people you already seen. So then I had to play the Guardian tournament. So for Guardian tournament, I don't really remember who I had to play in the first round. And then second round, the thing is the people that were there that were higher ranked actually didn't really want to play. Because they already won it like a year before, or they were just Thompson didn't want to play, J-Mac didn't want to play, and they asked me, it's like, do you want to play? I'm like, yeah, sure, of course, why not? Like, I wasn't even there to win anything, I was just there to have a good time and just laugh, fool around, that kind of stuff. Wycos was also in the tournament, Kambala was in the tournament on Stoic's account, and then a bunch of other people. So first round I had to play someone I don't really remember. Then second round I had to play against Ace, which is also a YouTuber. Pretty chill match, but yeah, they are like G1 to G2-ish. I'm a little bit above that, so that was maybe not the most fair match, but still okay. Moved on to the next round. Then he had to play Lazy Bum. I think it's an SSA member. So also Gianna user. And we actually have pre-bans there. So yeah, won that round. Then the final round I had to play against Mother G, also a streamer, a very nice person as well. Didn't get to talk that much with her, but she played pretty well. G2, high up G2, I would say. So the funny thing is, at that time we had like that they asked Stoic, Once in Love, and Digon to actually cast the match, because Seppi was casting most of the match for like the other tournaments or like the earlier matches, and then for the final or even the semi-final already they asked like the official casters to cast the match, and they were like, everyone was having like, I was playing the tournament with 2 Long Islands in, and people buying us shots like left, right, center. So everyone that was at the venue at some point was like, I can buy these influencers shots? Let me get them some shots. Everyone was taking shots like the next level. So we were doing that. We took a lot of shots. I was playing this tournament like halfway tipsy in, maybe a little bit more than halfway. So you see my smug face for like that kind of stuff. That was hilarious. So we were just like, these three people were just shouting in the microphone. It was insane, man. We had such a good time. Like, people just lost their voices over casting, shouting in the microphone while being like next level halfway tipsy in and that kind of stuff. It was hilarious. So yeah, Stoic shouting, Degon shouting, Tyler shouting in the microphone, casting, me just picking like weird stuff, trying to make a fun match out of it. Of course, going full Europe on people. I had to pull in the Antares like on everyone. Every single match that Antares was slightly fitting, Antares getting the most amount of like hyped as weird matches and that kind of stuff. So that was super funny. This was actually the picture of me. I think it was taken like after I won. I won a Katarina figure. Oh, it's all the way up there. It's pretty high up, but that was one of the figurines that I actually didn't have yet. So that's pretty dope. So afterwards, we went for a Brazilian barbecue. This is a picture, of course, again, pictures made by Childish. Thanks for making the pictures. Few faces we haven't seen yet. So this is LC33, Evan, Countess Evan, Tyler, Once a Love here, Nelly the God over there. And we had like a good time at that Brazilian barbecue. Everyone was like pretty tipsy in and that kind of stuff. And then people started more talking, being more open, super chill, that kind of stuff. So let me see what the next picture is. Next picture is already next day. Okay, so we got back to the hotel. I was driving with, I totally forgot who drove me back, because I was sitting in the back with Sidorius. Sidorius I don't have any picture with. Also super chill guy, Sidorius. First thing I hear from him at some point is him saying, like, I met him outside waiting to get into the venue. First thing he says, like, while going in, he's like, yeah, did you know that if you buy every pack, you don't get the pop-up anymore if you want to buy packs? I'm like, okay. I'm like, wait, what? Wait, what? So, yeah, we were just with a bunch of people. We were still, like, out there drinking in the lobby. We started, I think we came back around, like, 12 or 1. Around, like, 2 or 3, a lot of people left because some people had to catch flights next days and that kind of stuff. So, and some people just also don't stay up that late. So I think we were there with, man, I don't remember. A lot of people were there, but I was sitting around with CC Lion, her boyfriend, Digon, Rinriona, J-Mac. At first, like before, also Wycus. I don't have any picture with Wycus. That's too bad. Wycus is also such a nice guy. He's amazing. Like, he at some point did this like MC kind of thing for hosting while everyone was like summoning for influencers and that kind of stuff, and summoning for Countess Gigi. And he was just the way he handled the mic, like no one else handles the mic. Wycus is insanely good with that stuff. That's just super funny to have that guy in there as well. He's super nice guy as well. So yeah, we were still drinking there. Just people were RTAing, people were like raging on their phone, people were just chilling, that kind of stuff. Super chill. So we kept drinking there until like 4 or 5. Then most people left, and it was just J-Mac, Riona, Sidorius, and me, I think. After like 4 or 5, we kept drinking until like 8 in the morning. At 8 in the morning, I heard this the next day. At some point, we have like all of this booze on the table and that kind of stuff, like a whole bunch of drinks. This group walks in and that kind of stuff, and they look kind of weird at us, and I'm like, okay. Next day, I hear later from someone that was like an anonymous alcoholist group. Like, it was the triple A coming in there, and we were still drinking like. Wait, is that double A or triple A? I don't even know, but because we call it differently in the Netherlands. But they walked in and like we were just drinking there like a maniac, still there in the morning. At some point, J-Mac and Rion also left. Sidorius, me were still there. We're still going, are still drinking. So Rion also caught a video of me snoring in the hotel lobby at some point. Like, I also saw J-Mac at some point, like, so. And I did that a few times as well, but I went all the way back, and then you sleep and you So yeah, someone has a video of me snoring in the hotel lobby at like 8 in the morning. I haven't seen it yet. Apparently it's not that bad, but that's what I heard, that video is out there. I really don't mind. It happens. So me and Sidori are still drinking until like at some point like 9. people start waking up. Chalice was already woken up. Stoke was already woken up. So at some point they're like, yeah, let's go for breakfast. So we didn't go to bed. Yeah, we joined them for breakfast. So we joined them for breakfast. So Sidora was like, yo, I'm dead. I'm leaving. Yeah, man, totally get that. So he left at some point. I went back to the hotel. I had to switch rooms at that time. So at some point I was just chilling, sitting there with Nelly and LC. They were flying out at that day. I was just sitting there waiting. At some point I'm like, wait, with its time zones right now, rush starts in Europe right now. I got a rush. I started rushing there. I didn't rerun anything. My defense was crap. I was both hangover, drunk, and tired as fuck while doing my rush. I got C3 in my rush. I legit got C3. Good thing it was not for placing the inter-server battle, because I would be in team like 1000 or something. I don't know. So yeah, that was pretty chill. Then I went to sleep at like 2 p.m. So that was a nice day. So afterwards, I had some dinner with Tyler and a bunch of his friends that he knew from LA or around LA. So next day, oh man, this day was, I would say, even crazier than the LA meetup day. Not for like meeting people crazy, but just like crazy as like whatever happened. So do want to talk about that day, and I think I round up the video then, because the rest of the days are not that interesting. And apparently I'm already talking 31 minutes. Oh man, this video is like a podcast. I cannot talk like short talks, man. I just talk too much. I'm too excited. I don't know, man. Met too many people, too many impressions. I could talk about this for days. If you're ever thinking about going to these meetups or anything, just do it, man. It's amazing. You're gonna have an amazing time. If you just like to hang around with people, talk Summoners War, have a bunch of drinks. Yeah, also, if you don't drink anything, again, we're not there to get you drunk. If you don't like to drink, you don't have to. If you cannot handle drinks, just don't. Like, we're not there to get anyone fucked up or anything. But literally, go there to these meetups. These meetups are insane. I really hope Europe is gonna do these meetups pretty soon again, because it's been quite a while. Like, last meetup was 2019, before COVID happened, pretty much. Also, I missed quite a bunch of the meetups because I was in China myself. But is what it is what it is. So, next day. This day, you could write a script about it and put it in a short movie, because this thing is like random from A to Z, like legit random from A to Z, and I have 2 little pictures to show it for. But you could literally film this and put this in a short video. So I was planning at first to go to the office to record like another video, just chill there, talk to people, just give some feedback on the game, the meetup, like the everything. So apparently they said like, okay, today is not that convenient, can you come tomorrow? Sure, no problem. I still had like, what, 5-6 days there? 4 or 5 days there. So I was like, okay, I've been to LA 8 years back or 9 years back, and I've been to pretty much most areas, but I haven't been to the Santa Monica Pier. As you can see, it was not that great weather for the Santa Monica Pier, but I just arrived, I took an Uber there, and I started walking around. This was literally my first walk around. I saw like the wheel and the kind of stuff. I wanted to go in, but if it's this foggy, it's not really like that much worth it, I would say. So at some point you have like these street dances over there. And these street dancers, I always like the dancing stuff. I just messed up my cable. I'll fix it on the background. But yeah, I always like my dancing kind of stuff. I never took any dance classes, but for some people that know, I don't think that many people know. But I can dance a bit, I guess. I just went to too many clubs and that kind of stuff. I'm just used to dancing from clubbing a lot and yeah, doing some pop locking, tudding, freestyling, anything. So for me, dance is always pretty cool, I would say. So I saw this dance group over there. I've seen this kind of stuff before in San Francisco. And I'm like, yeah, let's check it out. So I went there, just some breaking, that kind of stuff. It was okay, nothing too crazy. It's pretty, maybe I'm just spoiled with like going to dance shows and that kind of stuff. I don't know. But it's stuff like physique I couldn't do, but rhythmical I could do, pretty sure, with a little bit of training. But they also had like their story of like kids stay in school and blah blah blah, and we're actually not living on the streets, but we're like street artists. We're not here to get super rich, but we like to do this, that kind of stuff. They had like a bunch of more kind of things, and I was like, yo, this is a good story, and let me actually like give back to them. Why not? So I already pulled up a 20. to tip them a 20. And they actually did this like really Twitch kind of style of shouting out donations, which I was actually like, that's smart. That's hella smart. So they just they also took their time to interact with the people a little bit. So if you donated some, they were like, hey, where are you from? Okay, no, thank you for being here. Thanks for coming out here. And they really took their time to actually collect the tips instead of just like, okay, put it here, okay, we're done. So at some point they also like they asked like where are you from? It's like for example North Carolina. Like give it up for 20 from North Carolina. Woo! That kind of stuff, which was pretty dope. So I'm like, okay, this is gonna be fun. Like technically I'm not from Amsterdam, but relatively close to it, and I can say my own city, but no one knows it. So I'm just like, okay, 20. It's like, okay, sir, where are you from? I'm like, yeah, from Amsterdam. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah. It's like, nice, man. He gave me advice. I'm like, nice. So it's like, okay, guys, listen up. Hit it up for 20 from Amsterdam. And everyone's looking at me. It's like, what? And they were lining up to like jump over a few tall people. They looked at me. It's like, this guy too tall. We're not jumping over this motherfucker. But there was someone else in line, or like just lined up for like getting jumped over. And he looks at me. He takes off his sunglasses. Like, motherfucker, what are you doing here? I'm like, who this? Wait, it's one of the guys from the meetup. I actually, at some point, someone asked me, can I give you a beer if you reroom my Sierra to a proper Sierra? I'm like, give me your phone. Yeah, give me your phone. Get that beer over here. Give me your phone. When you come back, you have a proper room Sierra. So that same guy, he was there with his daughter, and it was his birthday, and they were just chilling. He had like a few days off more, and he was just chilling there at the Santa Monica Pier. So Santa Monica Pier to where the venue was is like literally like 20 miles or something. So it's super random to meet him there. I was literally walking around there for like 15 minutes. I immediately meet someone from the meetup there. So he's like, yeah, okay, you're still here. Cool, man. Didn't know you were still here. Like the moment I heard Amsterdam, it's like, yo, who's here from Amsterdam, right? So he was like, let me buy you a drink. I'm like, yeah, sure, man. Also, I got 2 little pictures to show you, so I'm just still showing the Ferris wheel. I'm sorry. But he's like, let me buy you a drink. So him and his daughter were having like a drink with me, and at some point he's like, yeah, we did this for my birthday before. Would you like to join us for bar hopping on the Hollywood strip? Like the Hollywood like street of fame. Like you have like all the tiles with the stars on that and kind of stuff. I've been there before, like 8-9 years back. That kind of area is kind of like next level scam city, ghetto kind of place. But it's pretty funny. It's very touristic. I'm like, yeah, bars there, sure. Drinks, yes, sure. So it's like, he drove us in his car there. Like, I literally was like for 20 minutes at the Santa Monica Pier. I was planning to stay there like half of a day and then just see what happens. But that's the thing if you solo travel, man. You just go there, you don't make plans, this shit just happens. So we were there at some point. We were going to a bar. We saw this thing. For me, if I see something that just makes sense or just feels smart, that's pretty dope. They had like salt and pepper in Corona bottles. That's genius. I like that. That's marketing. But yeah, we had like a bunch of drinks there at the first place. We had some nachos, some drinks. This was before people start asking. This was blue curacao, tequila, and then a few other things mixed in. Pretty solid drink actually. And I was like, yeah, take some pictures of me because my mom is gonna hate me for taking too little pictures. So he actually took a few pictures of me. Place was pretty chill. So we went there at some point. The daughter of the guy also invited a friend. We started taking some more drinks, some more shots. I asked for B-52s. These were like the most messed up B-52s. Look at this. This is just Bailey's. And they're supposed to be Control on top. But this is just... But it's supposed to be looking something like this. This is the only one that's properly poured. But then it should be until here. And then here. And the rest should be Control. And you should put it on fire. Put a straw all the way to the bottom. So these were actually pretty shitty B-52s. So yeah, we started drinking there. What's the next picture? Oh yeah. So we started drinking there. Let's keep this picture in. It's a better picture to look at, I guess. Even though I don't really like at looking at pictures of myself, but whatever. So we go to like next bar. At some point we get to a bar. We start talking to like this bartender. Pretty chill guy, lived in Kiev for a while, like being all over the place and that kind of stuff. So at some point, the daughter gets talking with a girl that's sitting there. Apparently, she's waiting for a bus to go back to San Francisco. So we start sitting there for a little bit before we move to the next table. At some point, the daughter of the guy also she had to catch a flight at 7 p.m. So she actually had to go to the airport. And then her friend was like, "Yeah, I can bring it to the airport, so you guys can just stay here." And he was like, "Okay, cool, but I have to put some more money for like the parking thing." So he goes do that. I talked to the other girl a bit. She was pretty like free of mind, let's say it that way. It's like she was right like, "Oh, you're from Amsterdam. You got weed." I'm like, why would I do here what's illegal in my own country? And because it's legal in my own country, no one really gives a shit about it. Besides that, I never smoked anything in my life. No weed, no shisha, no hookah, no tobacco, no nothing. Just say does not smoke. You can try it, get me drunk as fuck. I will still not smoke. But yeah, it's just embedded in there. It doesn't leave. I'm just say does not smoke. In general, I don't take drugs. Anyways, I never took any drugs on purpose. Different story. Okay, so that happened. So at some point, the guy comes back, and he brings in this homeless guy with like the whole guy's just smelly. His hands are like next level dirty. Like the guy had like tattoos on his face, and like I'm like, where did you pick up this guy? He's like, yeah, this guy was like following me, begging for a beer, so I'm here to give him a beer. I'm like, what? Is that normal in LA? Is that an LA experience? Is that what you do with homeless people? You just offer them a beer? He's like, yeah, okay, that's not really what I would do personally, but like, okay. So I'm always just curious. So even with the homeless guy, I'm just asking. It's like, okay, so while you actually live on the streets, do you not have any skills that you could find a job with? Because I feel like everyone has some kind of value or some kind of skills that you could make money with. It's like, yeah, but I didn't finish school. I'm like, fuck your school, man. Probably they care about like school and shit, like when you pull up a resume and shit. But in the end, I feel like everyone has some kind of skill or is good at something. Like if you're good at like playing sports, you could just teach people for like a few bucks. If you're good at playing like anything, you could teach people. If you can make anything with your hands, like any wood crafts, any crafts or anything, you could work something out. So I was just talking to the guy, and like a few minutes in, I'm like, never mind, this is hopeless. The guy just didn't want to do shit. He was just having an argument of like everything was like because of something else, and probably there's situations of that happening, but okay, I was just like, okay, never mind. I tried my little bit of like whatever. So at some point he and the girl, of course, were talking about drugs and talking like, yeah, we should get like white rabbits and stuff like I'm not sure what white rabbits is, but I know a drug name when I hear one, right? So I'm like, yo, hey, we're talking about doing drugs and shit. I'm out. I'm just chilling. I'm out. And the other guy's also like, yeah, sorry, I messed up this one. I'm out as well. At some point, this guy literally he dropped a bullet. The homeless guy, he dropped like bullets from his jackets when he was trying to pick something up. And it's like these empty bullet cases which they use for, they put like drugs inside. I'm not really sure what kind of drug they put in there. I'm also not here to educate you about drugs or anything. But it was dropping those guys. Yeah, okay, so me and the other guy, we left. We're already quite tipsy, so the thing is what I said, the whole Hollywood strip is one big scam. And they have a lot of people like begging there on the street, doing weird stuff, selling whatever. And I was already quite tipsy. So at some point we have like these two guys selling CDs there. They make their own rap songs or whatever songs, I don't know, about something. And we can actually go to this picture. So yeah, they they actually say we tattoo on everything. That's how the guy probably got face tattoos. They're like, we don't give a shit about your dignity. We just tattoo on everything. So before we make too much commercial, oh yeah, I was quite tipsy. This is a perfect picture of me. I took this picture at a really funny moment as well. So the guys came to us selling CDs. I'm like, yo, CDs, ooh, like legit. Put it in the comments if you still have a CD player. Like, legit, who the fuck still owns a CD player? So I asked this guy, yeah, do you have a floppy disk with that as well? And the guy went fucking mad. The guy was like, yeah, and he was calling me all kinds of like this and that and blah 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 and the racist. And I'm like, wait, what does floppy disk have to do with any race? Like, he was like going full name calling on me. I'm like, yo, hey, I'm out. Like, I just walk away from this. I don't have time for this. I don't give a shit. I legit don't give a shit. But the other guy, he started going full man on that guy. It's like, yeah, you shouldn't treat people like that and blah blah. They were like, I was like, what the fuck is happening here? And there were like a bunch of security people like around here standing there, and I was just like, I don't know what's happening. I do not know, damn. And these people were just laughing with my interaction and that kind of stuff. At some point, I'm standing in front of the Chinese theater, and the security guard also comes checking and stuff like that. He's like, yeah, everything here on the street is a scam. I'm like, you're a scam. He's like, well, I'm a security guard here, but keep that mindset. That's a good mindset. So yeah, wait, what's the next picture? Oh, next picture is that. So let's keep this charming picture out there. So yeah, at that point, well, they start like literally like bitch fighting there for like 50 minutes. At some points, they're suddenly friends. The guy gives them a CD for free. I'm like, well, there goes your merchandise. I don't know. But the guy still had to drive back, so I'm actually like, yo, hey, you gotta drive back. I'm not chill on like drunk driving and that kind of stuff. He's like, yeah, no, I'm okay. Just gotta stop drinking, drink some water, eat for a while, just chill a bit. So let's go back to the first place. They had good nachos. We just eat, drink water there. And then we go back. For me, I'm like, yeah, I just take an Uber back. So I'm still on the beer. So we sat there for quite a while. And at some point, he went back home. And then he was like, yeah, maybe you should check if the girl that goes back to San Francisco is still there at the other bar. You could just chill out there until she leaves. And then you just go back to by Uber. I'm like, okay, chill. So I went back there. The girl was already gone. She was to some kind of movie or that kind of stuff. I added their Instagram. That's why I know. And so I was just like, oh, let's just talk to the bartender, like the beer that was pretty chill. Bartender guy was pretty chill. So I order a beer. I take a sip. I talk with him a bit. At some point, I'm looking on the left, and I'm like, to this guy sitting next to me at the bar. I'm like, yo, random question. Do you happen to do street dancing shows at the Santa Monica Pier this morning? He's like, yeah, why? I'm like, yeah, I tipped you 20 this morning. What? We went full circle. We went like that's where you get like this hold your horses moment of like Fight Club moment where you see at the end that he knows that he's actually the fucking other guy. I went for full like circle, and I had that kind of feeling there. I'm like, what? My day was crazy. Everything from A to Z was like crazy. So yeah, that ended up being the thing. The guy actually traveled a lot for like dancing groups. I asked him like, I was super curious, like, how does it work for like street dancers right now with COVID, less tourism, blah blah. He was also curious about the thing I was doing. Super nice guy. We talked there for about 2 hours, and then we both left. The funny thing is, the guy was also from Colombia. My two flatmates, which I hanged around with most in Shanghai, were also from Colombia, so they were actually from the same city. So yeah, we talked about a whole bunch of stuff, chilled there for 2 hours, and then they took the Uber back. I'm like, yo, this day was like crazy A to Z. You could make a short movie out of this. Like, hype it up a little bit, put some Michael Bay special effects, like fucking explosions here and there in it. And you just, what? That was insane. That was legit insane. So yeah, for the next few days, not that crazy. Just a bunch of drinks, Korean barbecue, hanging around with Come2 staff, talking to them about the event, about the game, hanging around Tyler. Tyler was still there. Jay McRiona were still there. I met Alicia Y, also very nice person, very sweet person there. Yeah, pretty much that for like the next few days. Waikasama G was also still there for one of the dinners. I think it was this dinner. So yeah, a whole bunch of things. And the other days were just chilling, I guess. Talking to people, having lunch together, having dinners together, just talking about like where did the game come from, like how far it's been with SWCs, like what changed, what the direction is. Of course, we're trying to ask shit, and they're like, yeah, we can't say shit. I'm like, totally understandable. Let's not ask shit, because that's also the thing for them. If they get tipsy at a meetup, I'm like, I cannot get tipsy because I can't say shit. I'm like, totally understandable. If you can't say shit, I'm not gonna ask shit. So yeah, that's the thing. So all in all, very nice trip. This was pretty much, this was an amazing trip. Like, so many things happened in so short of time, like especially the day of the meetup and the day after. Those were, no wait, the second day after. Those were so crazy. And the other days were just chilling with like super nice people. Like legit, like I said at the start, everyone I met was super nice and super chill to hang out with. So still have contact with a bunch of them more than I did before, because currently if you see each other in stream, you're more interactive, like, hey, do you remember of this, that, blah blah. So again, if you're like thinking about going to these meetups, sure we have COVID right now, sure we have like the new version coming, sure we probably have another version coming, but once that's all kind of cleared up, or people are just like ignoring it at some point, I don't know which way we're going. But yeah, moment it's all possible, go to these events, man. It's really worth it. And this video is really way too long. And I'm probably gonna put it in there pretty much uncut, because I don't want to edit an hour of a video. So yeah, guys, I really appreciate you listening to my story time. This video was coming for quite a while. I wish I had more pictures. I always say this. I actually brought the GoPro of my brother, but at some point I was there, like, I felt kind of uncomfortable, like, putting a GoPro in someone's face, like, hey, talk to the camera, bitch, talk to the camera. So I think everyone would have been chill with that, but I was like, at some point, like, oh, I'm not. I should have done it. I should have done it. Maybe for our next one. So they also already asked me, it's like, yo, if there's a new like another meetup at like LA or somewhere, are you going? I'm like, well, it really depends on my work later, but I'm pretty easy to travel. And for me personally, I like to spend money on things that make memories. So for me, I don't need a big car. I don't need a big house. I spend on summer as well because, well, yeah, whatever. Uh, but for me, I like to spend money on like traveling, memories, going somewhere, walking here with come to us, dude. Like the last day is like, oh, we're close to this and this place. Let me walk you around, like around the pier and that kind of stuff you haven't seen here. Just talking, just also talking like real life stuff, not about the game, that kind of stuff. Super, super nice guy, very busy. He's like, he was literally running around the office at all times. Like, oh, chill, you're here. It's like, yeah, okay, nice that you're here, but I actually gotta go again because, like, I'll meet you later at the dinner. Like, super nice guy as well. So he took me out, like, walking here on the pier. So yeah, it's just all in all a crazy trip, and I'm just rattling on about like same stuff. But guys, thanks so much for watching. Also, everyone that was there, especially Contour staff, like anyone from Contour's NA staff that was there, I really want to thank you for like giving me an amazing time, being amazing host like throughout the whole trip, like taking care of me, like asking like, oh, where you're going, or giving me like tips of like tourist stuff to do, or just like dinners, everything, like inviting me to stuff. It's just been an amazing freaking trip. Like, I really enjoyed it. Also, for all of the influencers that were there, all of them amazing people, super nice people to talk with. So yeah, I'm gonna put all of the links in the description down below of pretty much all of the influencers and everyone that I talked to. That's gonna be a bit of a research work. But guys, thanks for watching and see you later. Also, if you really want me to go more on these kind of events and you actually want me to vlog, put that in the comments. Because I don't know, I'm still not sure if I will actually do it, not gonna lie. But let's see like how many people actually like this kind of stuff. So leave that in the comments, because I think this video is not gonna be viewed that much. But especially because it's this long. But leave it in the comments if you want to see me do these kind of things, but then as vlog. Because if I know a lot of people would love this kind of stuff, I'm just making a chill video out here and see what you guys think. And wanted to get the story out there. It's an amazing story. It's gonna be great. No, wait. Oh man, I was just rallying on. Guys, thanks for watching and see you later.